Hello all and welcome to a CEX challenge video. I haven't done one of these in ages. I thought it was long overdue. I used to do them all the time when I first started this channel. So it's time to do another one. And yes, you'll have seen the title, so you know what it's all about. It's 5 games for 5 systems for £5. So spending no more than £5, I've got to buy 5 games and they've got to be all for different systems. So age-old rules do stick. Ones that I've always had in place since day one. That's no generic sports titles, so no FIFAs, no PESs, nothing with 2K in front of it, no Maddens, nothing like that at all, no golf games by Tiger Woods. Everything like that is out, no generic sports titles. And of course the other thing is it's got to be new and it's got to be added to the collection, so it's nothing I already own, just because it will help with the challenge. So with that, it's off to Hollow Town store. That's the store that I've chosen today. I will try and capture a little bit of a footage of the retro section, and then the challenge will start and the video will culminate in the 5 games for 5 systems that I picked up. So let's get to the store. Okay, so I'm home now from my 5 games for 5 consoles for £5 challenge. And as you'll see on screen here, I've got 5 games. You may be able to tell by the spines that they are for 5 different systems. And I've spent exactly £5, so I have been 100% successful in the challenge. So with that, let's shuffle them aside and show you exactly which games I picked up, but we'll leave the PS2 one behind because that is the very first one that I picked up. Because in the footage you'll have noticed I was looking at the glass cabinets at all the retro stuff, then after that I made a beeline for the PlayStation 2 games because I knew that would be somewhere good to go to get one for not a lot of money at all, for a 50p is what I was aiming to find straight away, obviously to help the budget out in the fact that I've got to find 5 games for a fiver essentially, but obviously they've got to be for different systems, so it's going to tie me down a little bit. So I'm thinking try and find a couple of 50pers that you need. Obviously I'm going to need a ton of different PS2 games as well. I've got a few, but it's not something I'm primarily collecting for the PS2. I'm only collecting beat 'em ups and compilations or anything else that takes my fancy, and that is where Top Gun Combat Zones comes in. Because as a kid growing up, this film was very big around my sort of generation growing up. It was a massive film, and it's one of those films where if I'm flicking through TV channels and I catch that Top Gun is on, no matter where it is in the film, I want to watch it. I want to watch it. It's never grown old for me, and for many people my age, that is also the case as well. So yeah, it strikes some interest. I mean, in this challenge, I was trying to find stuff that obviously that I wanted to play as well, and stuff that sparks my interest rather than just getting stuff for the challenge. However, one game does kind of qualify for just getting the challenge done, unfortunately, but the challenge is done. That is the most important thing. So yeah, love a bit of Top Gun. Certainly film-wise, so very interested to play this game. So there's some screenshots for you to look at, and there is obviously some words for you to read should you wish to pause it right there. But, I mean, when I picked this up, I was more interested in just playing this rather than having it in the collection per se. There was no manual in there. Now, in that particular store, unfortunately, some staff do take the manuals out and some don't. So I never know whether the manual's behind the counter or not, and generally don't like to take the risk if it is definitely going in the collection. And if I really, really want it, I ask. But there was no manual in it, but I did have it behind the counter, and that is a lovely condition manual as well. So after I play it, if I do not want to keep it, I am pretty sure I know someone that I can pass that on to who collects for the PlayStation 2. So very pleased, obviously, to find a 50p one straight away and keep my sort of budget maximised as such, because that is as low as CEX sell games for. So I wanted to stick with trying to find 50p games to start with, so I moved my way over to the Xbox section. But before I dove into the 360 and trying to add something for the collection there, generally, because obviously going for the full PAL set, I had a look at the Xbox original games, and lo and behold, I found a 50p game. In fact, I think I found two, but the other one was a sports title. But there was this one, Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter. Never heard of it before, and it completely sparks my interest. It totally sparks my interest, and I really want to give this a play. It just, yeah, I know nothing about it, and it looks very interesting. So it might be a complete dud. I don't know. If you played this, please do say something about it in the comment section below. That would be awesome to hear. But yeah, it just looks really interesting. And it was only 50p. And again, this fell into the, didn't have a manual in it until I took it to the counter. And boom, they had the manual for it. So obviously really pleased with that. So I've managed to knock off 2 games for 2 systems and only spend £1. Things were going great. So basically, obviously, if I could average £1 a game, there you go. There's your 5 games for 5 systems for £5. And I'm ahead now. I bought 2 for 50p. So I bought 2 for £1. I've still got £4 left. But I knew, looking at some of the other systems, that I would need the extra budget for that system with regards to finding a non-sports title and something I didn't own. So anyway, obviously, I'm on the Xbox original, straight over to the 360. I've looked through all the 360 games that were 50p, and if the 50p ones were either sports titles, which I think I had them all, or they were games that weren't sports titles, and I had them. So then obviously I'm thinking, all right, okay, then so we'll move on to the £1 games, because again, I don't really want to shoot over the budget sort of per game if you're getting 5 for £5. So I started looking for all the £1 ones, and I had a lot of them, but 2 of them I didn't. First one was Darksiders. Opened it up, had no manual in the box. Now I'm collecting the full PAL set for the 360, so I'm thinking, right, we'll check the other one first. If it's got the manual in the box, we'll go for that one, so then I haven't got to ask, and it could go in the collection, and then that's brilliant. Anyway, that game is one I'm surprised I did not have. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction. I've got a few of them. I've got Vegas, I've got, he turns his head round, Blacklist, got one more as well, but yeah, to my surprise, when I got my phone out and checked my list, because once you've got over 600 360 games, it really helps to have a list on your phone, especially with the Tom Clancy games, as there's quite a few. Yeah, and lo and behold, on my list, Splinter Cell Conviction was not on it. So I'm thinking, yep, we'll add that one. Darksiders hasn't got a manual, the first Darksiders, so I'll leave that one behind, even though I do need that one as well. I'm not going to take the risk. Like I said, yep, it did have the manual left in the box, although the manual is back to front. There we go. And extra bits of paperwork as well, which is always nice. So yeah, oh, someone's written the disc, 003. Never mind, there's a James Bond joke in there, isn't there? But, yep, so one in the full power set for the collection as well as part of the challenge. So absolutely really pleased with that. And we're up to £2. We're up to £2 so far. And this is where I was getting desperate because I found the last game first because I'd gone to the PS3 section. You'd have seen that case at the beginning. And I was struggling there because all of the games that were 50p were sports games pretty much. And then the pounds and the pounds 50s, again, there were sports games. Or there was one game which you needed the VR stuff for. The motions thing, you know, whatever that's called. Forgot the name of it. It's eluding me right now. And then I got to 150, and then there was a MotorStorm game, which I do actually have because I was going for the exclusive once upon a time. But anyway, so I knew I was going to be ending up buying a £2 game for the PS3. So I was scooching around the store, looked at the PSP games. I wasn't buying a Hannah Montana game. That was the only £1 game there. There was a 75p Golden Compass game, but I had Golden Compass on the 360 and I didn't really want it twice. So with that, yes, I went for the Wii section, and it was really hard to find a £1 game in the Wii section, actually. There was only a couple, and I think one was a sports game, and the other one was Raymond Raven Rabbids, and the sticker is covering the name, the TV. But this one had no manual in it, and this one's got my receipt in it, and this one, unfortunately, manual-wise, is a fail. But to be honest with you, this game is the one that has real no interest to me. I do have a Wii U, so I can play Wii games, but I might give it a little bash, and then probably I will move this one on. But it's got no manual, so I can't really go to a fellow collector, so it may end up in a charity shop. But yes, this now brings the total up to £3, and as I say, with all the stuff that I was looking through the PS3 section, it was the cheapest game that I wanted and generally wanted to play was £2 because I have a PS3, so I wouldn't mind actually playing a few PS3 games. I kind of have neglected that console a bit with regards to playing games for it. So the game that I wanted to play, it appealed to me, was Heavenly Sword. Certainly for the money and the budget that I had left. There were other games that I wouldn't mind trying and playing, but they were more. So this £2 brought the challenge up to exactly £5 and obviously completed it. There's the double thumbs up of approval from myself. And yeah, I'm just going to say I wouldn't mind giving it a try. It looks interesting. It looks like sort of an open world hack and slash game. And I like hack and slash games. I certainly like my side-scrolling beat-em-ups. I like my 3D world beat-em-ups. I just like fighting games. And this looks like it fits the bill. And I don't know, there's something about the cover that really appealed to me. Yeah, it just sort of stuck out and appealed to me. You know, yeah, she looks alright, doesn't she? So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I have bought 5 games for 5 different systems for £5 at CEX and completed the challenge. And as I say, I used to do these on the channel ages ago when I first started out. I've been doing them for years. I've had those rules all this time as well, and it just felt good to go out and do another one again. And I'm not going to leave it so long next time. So you know me, I like to create rules and tie the specifications of what I need to do down a bit. So we'll see what my brain can rack up, and we'll do another challenge soon. Or, do you know what? If you want to suggest something, there's a comment section below for that. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, this just leaves me to say thank you very much for watching. And as always, please do take care.